Heather orders an espresso martini. Now, Heather hasn't had an espresso martini on television since, was it last season? It was last season when she threw up from them on the bus. So it was just so funny. All the ladies are arriving. She's drinking espresso martinis, and Meredith makes this entrance on a sleigh, and Heather is drunk off her espresso martinis, like screaming and waving as they're like approaching the crowd. And in her confessional, she's like, "I love that bitch." Like, it was just so funny. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Bravo by Gays. It's me, Larry, your host. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving holiday. I know I did. It was great to be with family and friends and like all the things. So much happened between last week and this week, and I can't wait to cover all of it with you. Since there wasn't an episode last week, so much happened at Bravo Fan Fest in Miami. So much happened like in the Bravo universe itself with VPR not coming back and so much more. We're going to get into all of that. I also want to talk to you guys about Salt Lake City. The ladies have been just delivering so far this entire season, so I can't wait to get into that, especially the episode from Wednesday night, which was just chef's kiss. So let's get into what we missed that was dropped during Miami Fan Fest first. So we will start there. All right. So Bravo Fan Fest in Miami looked amazing. I know that I had the most amount of FOMO from not being there, and it looked great. What it was essentially was just like a mini BravoCon. They had multiple panels with different Bravo celebrities, and then Andy filmed about 5 episodes of Watch What Happens Live. But throughout that entire weekend that they had Fan Fest, they were releasing clips and previews of new shows and just like so much content that I felt like I was there just by scrolling Instagram and keeping up with what Bravo was posting. So it cured a little bit of my FOMO, but again, I mean, nothing beats being there in real life. I'm literally looking forward to BravoCon 2025 back in Vegas again because I am getting like the itch for all things Bravo. I just need to be around it. So first and foremost, in Miami, they introduced us to the new full-time housewife that is going to be joining the Real Housewives of Miami. Her name is Stephanie. She is a friend of Larsa's, and she looks like feisty, spunky, fun, all the things. What I did find interesting was, obviously, you guys have heard that the Real Housewives of Dubai is on pause after only 2 seasons. I saw an interview clip that Caroline Stanbury did with one of the outlets, and I forgot what outlet or what podcast it was for, but they asked her if she would ever consider joining like another franchise. Obviously, so many people are pushing, they want her to be on, that Real Housewives of London that like Hayu is going to be doing. But when they asked her what franchise she would go on, she said that she would go to Miami because she's friends with Larsa. She's friends with this new housewife, Stephanie. Caroline actually introduced Stephanie to Larsa. And then she said that she was invited to go and film with the Miami ladies by a couple of them. I'm assuming by one of those two, but that they wouldn't let her do it. So that's where Caroline said she doesn't know where she'll end up because she's been passed around too much, and that they wouldn't let her film like a snippet for this upcoming season of Miami. So I thought that was interesting to hear. All of these ladies are connected. It's just like, it's so crazy. But we got to meet Stephanie. She looks great. With what I thought was cool as well in regards to the Real Housewives of Miami, obviously Bravo Fan Fest is on their turf. They're in the middle of currently filming their latest season. And they were filming, it looked like, while they were at Fan Fest. And also what was cool was they announced that they were going right from Fan Fest onto a cast trip for Real Housewives of Miami. So when you're watching the next season, you'll see them going on their trip directly from FanFest. It was cool. Like someone got a clip of them actually leaving FanFest and going on to a cruise, and like the camera crew was there. So that's actually really cool. I can't wait to see that. I'm so excited for the ladies of Miami to return. In regards to other stuff that came out at FanFest, we did get a clip of the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16. It was a clip featuring Porsha. Now, I literally cannot wait for the Housewives of Atlanta to return. Now, I believe they said that we have like 3 newbies. Obviously, we know Cynthia Bailey's back as a friend of. Phaedra Parks is coming back. And I'm most excited to see Phaedra and Porsha return. Their dynamic is just always so fun. So we did get a clip that they had released in regards to Porsha meeting up with her divorce attorney. So seeing that, I believe it was like maybe a minute and a half long. It really just like left me wanting more. Now, obviously at FanFest, Andy says that like they waited and waited for Atlanta because they wanted to get it right. So he says that this season is going to be amazing. I know what everyone's going to say. He says that with every season about every show, but I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see what the newbies are going to bring and then mixed in with the ladies that are returning. There already seems to be some back and forth drama online between Porsha and Drew. And speaking of Drew, she dropped this like photo on Instagram that just had like a censored label across her chest. The amount of people that thought that that was her dropping that she's like getting an OnlyFans was hilarious. She's not getting an OnlyFans. She is just dropping a new single, but it was funny to see the reaction from people just based off that photo. But Atlanta's coming. I'm assuming a lot of these shows are not going to be announced until after the holiday season, like beginning of next year. Because, I mean, right now, what we have off air is just Jersey and Atlanta's coming back. And I know I'm ready for it, so I hope you guys are as well. I mean, they dropped so much during FanFest. We obviously saw the mid-season trailer that came out for Potomac that came out about a week ago, a little bit more. That looks so good. There's so much more to come this season on Potomac, and it's just been so good. It's been so good. I just know that after last week's episode, Giselle's going to pop the fuck off on Mia with her bringing up her daughter's sneaking boys into the house. So it just looks like it's just going to get so much more intense. We finally got a clip for Below Deck Down Under, and I cannot wait for the return of Captain Jason. This clip was hilarious. It's him just like in this silk robe, laying on the couch, waiting for the ladies to come down, like the yacht guests to come down, and like he was going to surprise them. I mean, all is better in the world when Captain Jason is on TV. And I literally love Below Deck Down Under. It looks like the chef is returning, Zarina, so that's exciting. A lot of people were asking, like, where's Aisha? I don't know. But fun fact, last weekend in Buffalo, there was the world's largest disco, which is, it is exactly what it is. It's the world's largest disco. It is this huge event to raise money for Camp Good Days. And every year they bring Bravo celebrities to it. And it's usually a couple housewives and someone from Below Deck. Like Margaret's gone in the past, Dolores, Teresa, like last year I met Melissa. And it's just a whole lot of fun. This year, Aisha was one of the guests. They unfortunately didn't have any housewives, but they had Aisha. And so many people were asking in the comments of that sneak peek from Below Deck Down Under, like where she was. I'm assuming she's either on another like Below Deck franchise, or maybe she's coming in and they just didn't show her in this little clip. I don't know. The full cast and air date for Below Deck Down Under hasn't been released yet, so we'll have to wait and see. But Aisha was the guest at the world's largest disco, and she was so much fun. You had to see her like living it up with all of these like disco celebrities from back in the day. It was like her, Eric Estrada, Uncle Joey, Dave Coulier from Full House, and she was just thriving. It was so much fun. I did get a chance to meet her. I took a photo with her. She was super nice, like just very appreciative to be there and like just having the best time. She just seems like such a cool girl. You know what I mean? Like nothing can get her down. She's down to just have fun. Also, out of FanFest, we got a clip into the new season of Summer House, season 9. Hilarious clip. Obviously, very much pregnant Lindsay Hubbard, and she does this game with that, like her castmates, where she puts on one of those contraction machines, and it went on Kyle and it went on Paige, and it was so funny to see them reacting. We got to see some newbies in the background, obviously Lexi, and I don't know the guy's name, but he's in there as well. We see everybody else: Gabby, Sierra, Amanda, Kyle, Carole, Wes, Jesse. They're all returning, them and a couple newbies. So I'm excited for Summer House. I can tell you guys, we're not going to probably get that anytime soon. If I'm making the right assumption, Summer House season 9 will probably air when Southern Charm is over. So Southern Charm, their big season 10 premiere was on Thursday. So we'll probably get Summer House towards the end of winter, or I'm assuming towards the end of winter. My guess is going to be they'll announce it in February. So we'll wait to see what's going on with that. They also gave us a sneak peek into Southern Charm season 10. Now they released this clip with JT kind of going after Miss Pat and offering her a cane, and everyone just kind of being like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, it was a little weird to see that whole interaction, but now that we know JT has quit the season, it's going to be interesting to watch, knowing that like we're never going to see him again after this season. So I'm like, I really don't even care like what he has to do in regards to like, I don't care what kind of like drama he's in, because like we're not going to see him try and resolve any of it in future seasons. He already quit the show. Now, what I did see was an interview at FanFest with Meredith, and one of the outlets had asked her thoughts on JT quitting and all of this stuff, and him saying like he'll never have to return again, or just everything overall. And she said that, or they asked her what her opinion was on maybe not being able to squash everything with him at the reunion since he quit the show and won't be there. And Madison said that he's in a contract. He's like contractually obligated to film the reunion, so he probably will still do that. He just won't film any further green screens, and then next season, if he was even going to be asked back. But by the time you guys listen to this, Southern Charm season 10 will have already aired. I am so excited for Southern Charm to come back. I tell you guys all the time, Southern Charm, Summer House are like my top shows on Bravo. So I'm super excited for them to return. I luckily get to go to Charleston next week. So I'm excited for that. And I'll tell you guys all about it and what I'm going there for when I get back. It's going to be such a great time. So that's Bravo Fan Fest. So, I mean, there's so much more. All these clips are available over on my Instagram for you. They're also over on my TikTok. You can also just see them if you scroll through Bravo TV's Instagram. But I want to know what you're looking forward to most. So shoot over to my Instagram, go in the comments of the post, just let me know what you're most excited for. And again, the FOMO for that was so real. I saw some of my friends that were there, and I was just like, oh God, I wish I was there. But I mean, BravoCon 2025 is coming, baby, and I'll be there for sure. So I'll get my fix then. All right, guys, we have to talk about the news that kind of like swept the internet last week. You've probably heard everyone talking about it so far, but I haven't had a chance to get to talk about it yet. Vanderpump Rules. So it was announced on November 26th, which was last week, Tuesday, that Vanderpump Rules was returning for season 12, but with a whole new cast, and all of the OGs are out. And let me tell you, I was A little shocked, but also not very much so. Like, obviously, there's been so much chatter going on behind the scenes, like, even like amongst like people on Instagram and everything, that like they don't know what the hell's going to happen. We didn't know if they were waiting for people to agree to salaries. We didn't know if they were trying to figure out casting and like all this stuff. There was just so many rumors floating around, right? So I was a little shocked, but not really. So I wasn't really shocked because of the season 11 finale. It really just felt so final. Like, okay, the story's over. There really is nowhere for this group to go. And that seems to have been the case. So all of the cast members came out with all of their posts in regards to the news. Tom Schwartz had posted saying how the last 12 years replays in my mind. And it was a clip of all of the cast members with their names and then the theme song to Friends, which obviously everyone knows, like, they love Friends. Like, it felt very appropriate, right? Katie Maloney posted something to her story, and I freaking love Katie so much, but if you listen to her podcast disrespectfully, you can tell that she was just so over being on the show. She did state that she had told production after the last like season that she wouldn't be returning because she just felt like there wasn't much more that she can do for the show. And she had already given so much of her life. So she had already made the decision that she wouldn't be returning for season 12. But she posted just a picture of her from season 1 in her sur dress with a caption that just said, "It's a mixed bag, but I wouldn't change a thing. Thank you for the memories and the love the last 11 years." Quick, to the point. She's done. She's like, I'm ready to move on. I don't care anymore. I mean, listen, I posted the clip in regards to Katie talking about how she told production that she wasn't going to be returning for season 12 after last season. Like, the amount of hate on like in those comments did not pass the vibe check. Like, not cool at all. I love Katie. I love Ariana. I'm excited to see what they're going to do next. In that interview, Katie did say that she does want to like do more reality TV. Obviously, she wants to do more. She's been doing it the past 11, 12 years of her life. So it's what she's used to. I wouldn't be surprised if we see her on some type of show. I feel like Katie would be great on Traders, just like her personality and like her, like the way that she is. I feel like she would be a good cast member on that show. There was an interview with Ariana that came out that she had stated like, oh, something about her is just 2 doors down from Sir. If the new cast wants to come in and resolve a fight over a sandwich, they're more than welcome. Which would, I mean, that would be cool to see. And who knows if they would pop in, but it is what it is. James Kennedy posted something so nice, stating that he can't lie. He's holding back some tears as he writes his post, and that it's been a pleasure being a part of Vanderpump Rules and filming the show like over the past decade. Now, I'm not worried about James Kennedy. James Kennedy is thriving. He's got a Vegas residency. He's going on tour with Pauly D. So much is going on in his life. James is going to be just fine. I mean, again, people are saying like they are bringing in this whole new cast for season 12. Like, are any of the OGs going to make any type of cameos? And really the only one that makes sense would be James Kennedy, because I don't know if he still does, but he is a DJ, and I believe he DJs at Sir for like events. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he pops in. None of the other ones really make any sense. Like, if you're going to like reboot the entire cast, just make a clean break and bring new people in, and then don't show the old people, because people are too attached to them. They're not going to care about what's going on with the newbies. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. Ariana's post, you guys have probably already seen all of these. I'm just kind of quickly like giving you an overview of them. Was super nice. I did like laugh at like the end of it, because obviously the theme song, like, these are the best days of our lives, this one's for you tonight. She closed her caption saying, I don't know that these were the best days of our lives, but they were definitely something special. I mean, listen, Ariana has stated again since this news is broke that she's ready to move. She's been ready to move on. She's happy about it. So, I mean, we're not seeing her go anywhere anytime soon. She's everywhere. She was just on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade last week. So we're going to see more from her. Lala obviously had an amazing post. She had a great caption, closing it with, "We rocked this bitch until the wheels fell off." And they did. All of them gave so much of their lives into the show. Sheena used some words from Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield in hers, and she had a great one. She thanked everyone for checking in on her. Obviously, that's the thing. When something happens, people comment, check on Sheena. Is someone checking on Sheena? And I love that she's going with the joke and just thinks it's funny, and she's like in on it. So that was great. Now, Tom Sandoval posted as well, but in my mind, I blame all of this on Tom Sandoval, because if he wouldn't have cheated on Ariana with Raquel, it wouldn't have caused this massive eruption amongst the group, and there probably would have been another season. But I digress. It is what it is. Nothing we can do about it now. I don't even care about what he posted. So, more news has come out since then that obviously on the Valley season 2, we know that Lala and Sheena filmed for it. Tom Schwartz as well. So we're probably going to see them kind of head over to the Valley, which makes the most sense. Lala and Sheena are very good friends with the ladies that are the cast members on the Valley: Brittany, Janet, Michelle. So it would make sense, and they would fit naturally in that group. Tom Schwartz, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up over there as well. He's really good friends and is still neighbors with Jax, so that would make sense for him to go over there. So I don't think we're not going to have those three off of our screens for too long. I do have a really, I'm going to be 95% sure that that is where they will go, and all is well with that. So many people were saying, like, oh my God, Tom Schwartz, poor guy. Like, Monday, he had to announce that they were closing Schwartz and Sandy's at the end of December. Made this huge post. He obviously put so much blood, sweat, and tears into the restaurant. We saw that. It obviously was a major reason as to why his marriage ended. So many people were like, oh my God, he just had to announce yesterday that his restaurant is closing, and now today his show's over. Like, he lost 2 jobs in 24 hours. What is going on? It was crazy. But I mean, I'm sure he'll be fine. Other big news out of the Valley: Jasmine Good got engaged to her now fiance. Her name is Melissa. Huge Us Weekly spread. Gorgeous. Congratulations to them. I can't wait for the Valley season 2. I'm so ready for it now. But while we're on the topic of the Valley, guys, major news again. And I apologize. Obviously, you guys have all heard this stuff, but I didn't get to talk to you guys last week, so I want to go over it with all of you guys over here on my end. Kristen Doute is pregnant. It's all happening for Kristen. She obviously got engaged over the summer. Now she is expecting a baby with Luke, so I'm excited for that. I mean, there's just so much has happened. I mean, it's been a whirlwind. And also, Andy Cohen is back in good graces with Carole Radziwill from New York. What happened last week? There was a literal day where it was just news drop, news drop, news drop. And I was just what? I cannot keep up. There's just so much going on. But that's what, I mean, listen, that's what I live for. I love when all of this stuff happens. So I love it. That's what I wanted to cover with you guys in the beginning before I kind of go into Salt Lake City, all the Bravo Fan Fest stuff. So, and then kind of just the news that has dropped over the past week that we missed together. But without further ado, let's get into the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. All right, guys, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I mean, my God, between the last 2 episodes, I'm give these women an Oscar. They are killing it, and I am just so obsessed. So the big takeaway that I want to really kind of talk about before we talk about this past episode was the episode prior, at the end when Mary had that conversation with her son. I literally almost cried. And I don't cry at stuff. I know that's the worst, but it takes a lot to make me cry. I was almost in tears. It was so sad. So if you guys aren't aware, which if you aren't, then you probably live under a rock because it's been everywhere. But obviously something is going on with Robert Jr., Mary's son, and she approaches him in his bedroom to discuss what is going on. And he talks about how he used to take Xanax, and then the Xanax kind of snowballed into like a larger drug problem. He was taking Xanax with cocaine, taking Xanax with ecstasy, I believe it was. Like he just like literally was kind of just doing all this stuff, and to a point where it really took a toll on his mental health. And he told her that there were times where he just like didn't think that he wanted to live. Mary approached this entire situation literally perfectly. She couldn't have said or done anything better than what she did by offering him just support, love, telling him that they are going to be able, like, they'll get him help. Every way that she approached that situation was handled incredibly. And like, kudos to Mary. Everyone has been praising her in regards to the way that she handled it, and I'm going to as well. I just thought it was great. Amazing television moment, by the way, because I would never have expected that to be the thing. Now, I have obviously made kind of like judgments in the past in regards to like what I think is wrong with Robert Jr. I just thought he was high. Like, I really just thought he was smoking weed, which is like so common. So for it to be something larger was just like, oh wow, like okay, like. But now like the ladies are obviously, we've seen Meredith say that Mary is going through something like probably much larger, and that's why it's kind of altering her behavior around the women. And going into this last episode, the ladies still don't know what is going on with Robert Jr. So it's going to be, I don't know. I'm hoping, I wonder if she even tells them this season. I'm hoping she does, because it will give them so much more insight into like her behavior, because the only thing she cares about, and rightfully so right now, is Robert Jr. So going into this latest episode, and I'm really only going to talk about Meredith's bat mitzvah which, I mean, that's really like all this episode was. So there were so many moments though. But even with everything going on with Robert Jr., Mary still made the effort to attend Meredith's bat mitzvah. And because she wants to make things better with Meredith, which I thought was amazing. She could have easily have just stayed home and given an excuse for why she didn't go. But she's making the effort. So she's obviously trying to find balance between how to handle everything with her son and then how to handle everything with the ladies. So going into Meredith's bat mitzvah, this was fucking crazy. This whole entire party was absolutely insane. So there were clips, obviously, of Meredith doing her rehearsal, and she's like speaking Hebrew and like just practicing what's going to happen at her bat mitzvah. And then they cut to her practicing her Hebrew while she's in the bathtub, and like it is just so funny. Like it real like I love what she's doing, and I understand the reason that she's doing it, but it's still funny to like watch her rehearse in the bathtub. And I think Chloe was in the clip. It really is just hilarious. So ladies start showing up at her party, and I about died because Heather and her daughter show up. And I believe that was her daughter. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just assuming it was. And Heather orders an espresso martini. Now, Heather hasn't had an espresso martini on television since, was it last season? It was last season when she threw up from them on the bus. So it was just so funny. All the ladies are arriving. She's drinking espresso martinis, and Meredith makes this entrance on a sleigh, and Heather is drunk off her espresso martinis, like screaming and waving as they're like approaching the crowd. And in her confessional, she's like, I love that bitch. Like, it was just so funny. I was obsessed with that moment. I mean, listen, I've said it again. I'm like, Heather's winning me back. She really is. And that moment right there, I was like, okay, I fuck with you. Like, I get it. Like, she's just literally she just seems like such a fun girl. Like, I want to have espresso martinis with Heather Gay. Heather Gay, let's have espresso martinis together, because that just, I mean, she just seems like such a fun time. So obviously they get into like all of this, all these conversations that are happening before they go into the bat mitzvah. And the best moment for me this entire episode was when Meredith is up with her rabbi and they're going through like the entire, I don't even know, what do you like, the entire process of what she's there to do. Mary is late to the bat mitzvah and she's outside of the building looking in. It is priceless, guys. She's outside looking in, but there are black screens closing the windows, but you can see from inside outside. So you can see Mary walking by and going up to the windows, like looking like this. It was like God bless Mary. She is literally, I don't even think she knows she's being funny, but it is so hilarious. So people notice her like walking around and like, oh my God, like she's late, like all this stuff. And she's just outside, like, how do you get in? How do you, like, looking through the window? It's chef's never change, Mary, never change. But she finally makes it in. Ceremony's over. All the ladies are like drinking, talking, doing all this stuff in the hall. And Mary and Meredith have a very nice like moment where Mary just says, you know, we need to talk. This isn't the place right now, though. I just want you to let you know that I'm hurt that you left my house. I'm also hurt that you thought that I said something that would have made you want to leave my house. And Meredith acknowledges everything, and there was like that good moment. So I'm hoping that moving forward, everything is going to be good for them. I don't think this conversation is over, but I hope we're going into a positive direction. Now, the wildest fucking fight of the night was between Angie and Bronwyn. Now, Angie approached Bronwyn. Obviously, we all know Bronwyn is so upset because at camping the week prior, Angie was telling everyone to shut the fuck up, specifically Bronwyn. Shut the fuck up, she's just telling everyone, shut the F up. So Bronwyn wants nothing to do with Angie unless Angie is going to give her an apology. So Angie walks up to Bronwyn just saying like, oh, you know, like I want to start every conversation off with a compliment. Like, you look, I love your dress, your outfit, the sparkles. I love your bag, all this stuff. Bronwyn is like, okay, is step 2 going to be an apology? Angie didn't know that Bronwyn thought that she deserved an apology, but Angie wanted an apology from Bronwyn. I mean, these ladies are so crazy. Like, they can't even tell when they've even done something wrong that they may need to apologize for. It's crazy. You can't make this up. And that's why I love it. It is absolutely insane. So they're talking, they're getting into it, and then they're just going back and forth. Like, there is just no movement between these two. Todd comes over you can tell that from across the room, Todd probably knew that Bronwyn was getting herself into some shit, and he just already seems like the type that doesn't want to be associated with any drama. So he went over there to get her out of there. And there's just so much happening, like with all the ladies. There's a moment between Heather and Whitney and Lisa. They're arguing. There's other stuff going on. I almost fell the fuck over, though, when after Angie and Bronwyn's fight, Bronwyn is taking a picture with Brittany and Melly. Also, where's Melly? I've said this before, like, she literally has a cast photo and a bio on the website. We've seen her 4 times this season. It is absolutely insane. So Brittany and Melly are taking a picture with Bronwyn, and then Bronwyn says, like, oh my God, like, how the tables have turned. Who knew I'd end up being friends with you two? Insane, crazy, right? So funny. I was like, damn, that's a dig at both of them. Like, you just don't give a fuck. That is literally like, oh, damn, like, I don't belong with you two. I belong with the main group. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I freaking love Bronwyn. I've seen a lot of people kind of like talking shit on her. I think she's a great addition to the cast. I'm obsessed with Bronwyn. That moment I thought was hilarious. She didn't give two shits. She's throwing the digs at these two. So not even 2 minutes later, Angie comes over and she's getting into it with Brittany. And Brittany is upset because she thinks Angie called her a slut. She didn't say that. She just said, you're sleeping around with 3 guys, you drink wine, all this stuff. So Brittany thinks that Angie's calling her a slut. So Brittany and Angie are getting into it. And again, Brittany just got done taking this photo Bronwyn just got done taking this photo with Brittany and Melly. It gets involved in Brittany and Angie's confrontation. And Bronwyn must have forgot that she just got into a fight with Angie K, because she just literally laughingly looks over to Angie K and goes, well, Brittany earlier said that you're a slut, and that's why you think that she's one. They're tossing the slut term around like crazy, right? So Brittany's pissed. Like, how could you do that? Like, what is wrong with you? Bronwyn's confessional was literally, again, top tier, because she was like, you've been wanting to be my friend for so long. I gave you 2 minutes, and 2 minutes is enough. Time's up. Like, we're not friends anymore. It was absolute chaos. And Angie and Brittany are going back and forth about the whole slut talk. And then Angie tells her that she has high body count hair. Essentially, she told her her hair looked like she was in porn. And then she told her she looks like she has high body count hair. She has high body count clothes. She has high body count shoes. Pretty much just being like, you look like a slut. Like, it was just absolutely crazy. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. Lisa Barlow, I could not handle her in this moment. While Angie and Brittany are going at it about the slut hair, Lisa whispers to Brittany, like, well, you do need a hair treatment. Like, what? This bitch is getting red for filth, and you're going to pretty much agree with Angie that she needs a hair treatment? I'm telling you guys, it was probably one of the best episodes I've ever seen. Brittany runs off, like, so sad that she just got slut shamed. And then she ends up backstage somewhere with Chloe and Brooks Marks having to console her. It was crazy. It was absolute chaos the last 10 minutes of this episode. Meredith ends up kicking Angie out. She goes, you know what? You and your husband can leave. Angie is pissed. Angie's got 2 security guards kind of like blocking her from Meredith, saying, you're kicking me out. Well, you came to my engagement party empty-handed. Everybody brought gifts except for you. Listen, I bow down to Angie K. Like, that was her episode. And, you know, she won. She, like, literally, it was top tier, chef's kiss, hilarious. I almost fell over. I literally almost fell off the couch. I'm still not over Angie telling Brittany that she has high body count hair, and Lisa Barlow telling her, well, you do need a hair treatment. Like, guys, I love Salt Lake City so much. I love it so much. I never want it to end. It's so good. It ends with, obviously, Angie K and Sean getting kicked out of Meredith's party. I mean, I can't. And you know what? I do love me some Meredith Marks, but I'm so over the you can leave. You can leave like a girl. We know that you know, like, what your moments are, but you don't have to overdo it, because then we're not going to like it anymore. It was just crazy. And now we have to watch them all go on a trip to Puerto Vallarta, and none of them like each other. Lisa's like, Angie has a problem with Meredith. She's like, Angie hates Meredith. Angie hates Brittany. Meredith hates Angie. Mary and Meredith aren't getting along. She's like, and I hate Whitney. Like, and now we get to go watch them all go to Puerto Vallarta. And I guarantee you, one of them is not coming back alive. There's no way. These ladies are absolutely insane, and I live for every second of it. I want to know what all of your opinions were on this latest episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So drop it in the comments. And always make sure that you guys are rating, reviewing, subscribing, all the things. If you have friends that love Bravo, send them a link to the pod. Invite them over to come in and join the party. And I cannot wait to talk to you guys next week. I am going to Cleveland tomorrow for Giggly Squad. Club Giggly. I cannot wait. I'm so pumped. Me and a bunch of my friends are taking a road trip to Cleveland. It's about 3 hours from Buffalo, and we're going to Giggly Squad, and I'm going to tell you guys all about it when I get back. I'm going to Charleston next week, so much is coming up, and you better believe that we're going to talk about it right here. Right here is where we're going to talk about it. So until next week, I hope that you guys have the best week ever. I love you guys. Bye.